Animal abuse is stinking.
You think so? Do you want to answer a couple of questions?
I go for it.
There's 4 questions.
4 questions.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
You want to do it? You want to listen to him? What's your name, by the way?
Thomas.
My name's Cliff. Pleased to meet you, man. So, first question is, what do you think of animals in general?
Animals in general?
Yeah.
I don't think much of them. We're all animals.
Yeah. Like them, love them, anything like that?
I love them, yes.
Yeah, me too. Animal abuse, or people who abuse animals, what's your thoughts?
Dickheads. Scum.
I would agree. Yeah. Third question is, what would you qualify as abuse, or how would you describe it?
Well, the torture, the killing, the shit goes on in slaughterhouses. It's just unrightful treatment.
That's a very strange thing to say when you say slaughterhouses, because the fourth question is...
Are you vegetarian?
No, I'm vegan. I'm an animal rights activist.
Aye.
Why did you say slaughterhouses?
Why I say slaughterhouses?
Yeah.
Well, because I've watched many documentaries of what goes on.
Are you vegan?
I used to be vegetarian for 11 years.
And you're not anymore?
I stopped a little bit because it got in...
To be honest, man, I'm not here to judge anybody.
It got in the way of my goals, and I had to change my diet.
The way goals that... you mean protein you're talking about? Yeah. Okay, what if I told you the world's strongest man 2 years ago was vegan, and Mr. Universe in 2015, Barney Places, was vegan? NFL players...
I know all about it. I was vegetarian for 11 years, since I was like, 5. It was only till recently, which I started eating meat. Yeah. So... How
does that conflict with you when you're against what happens in slaughterhouses, yet you're... And again, I'm not judging you, man, because I know we've all been taught for a lifetime these things are normal and necessary, which I don't believe they are.
No, I don't believe so.
Are you conflicted by that in any way?
A little bit, yeah. It crosses my mind, but like, I remember I had a teacher, and I was vegetarian at the time, and I was like, "Miss, why do you meat if you know what goes on and like what happens?" And she was just like, "You learn to like sort of shut it away, sort of." Yeah.
So the thing I always say to people is, at what age did you lose your compassion? Because most children love animals and would never harm them. You want to stroke animals and you want to spend time with them. You definitely don't want to put a knife in their throat and kill them. So yeah, it is normalised to you by society, which is why I don't judge people. But once you know, like if you know you can be healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet, you can buy vegan alternatives for anything. I know you're saying your goals, but some of the top sports people in the world are plant-based. Tennis players, NFL players, UFC fighters, boxers, like world champions. Venus and Serena Williams eat plant-based. Novak Djokovic is plant-based. What do you call the Formula 1 driver? Lewis Hamilton is vegan and animal rights. So these people are at the top of their game on a plant-based diet. You know, I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19. I'm 56. I competed in sport for my entire life, so you can get all the nutrients. Is it protein would be your one thing?
It was just general well-being, to be honest. Like,
I mean, you can eat a shite diet on any diet. You can be an unhealthy... I wouldn't be here to say that... I mean, veganism's not a diet for a start. It's a lifestyle. It's about animal use more than...
I know unhealthy vegans.
Yeah, of course, man. I could eat vegan chocolate and ice cream all day long if I want to. I choose to eat a whole food plant-based diet. Yeah. So I've looked after myself. I'm 56 now and I'm really healthy. You know, so you can be healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet. And then for me, it may sound judgmental to you, but if I can be healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet, then why would I pay people to stab animals in the throat and shoot them in the head? And some of the things we do to animals, I guarantee you've been vegetarian, I guarantee you don't even know half the things we do to animals in this country. Like, do you know what we do to pigs, for example? Do you know how we dispose of them?
Pigs? I'm not sure about pigs. I think it's the taser, isn't it?
No, that's the old way. It used to be electrical stunning.
Yeah.
What would you think if I told you we throw them in gas chambers now?
Well, that's shit.
Yeah,
that's really shit.
So, Cookstown and Ballymena, there's 2 facilities. There's one near my house, actually, in Ballymena. And Carl and Cookstown are gassing about 3,500 a day, and Cranswick Country Foods in Ballymena Gaston's about 3,500 every day. So they get in a cage and they're dropped down in a carbon dioxide gas chamber, which is carbon dioxide is a real shitty, cheap, aversive gas, suffocation. Plus it burns them and gives them like an acid burn in their stomach and their esophagus while they're suffocating.
Gets rid of the oxygen, so nothing to breathe.
Suffocating. Once they pass out, they're still alive because they have to bleed out. They are rolled out the bottom, shackled around the back leg, hung upside down, by which point they're coming conscious again, but they're made unconscious so that they can handle a big massively strong animals. Somebody sticks a knife in their throat, pulls it, and they bleed out, choking on their own blood, man. It's fucking horrendous. Like, why the fuck, as an animal, or pardon my language, why would I pay for that when I can just eat a vegan product instead? What do you think of that?
I mean,
thinking about.
I understand all your points. Like, I get where you're coming from.
See, that sort of thing I would disagree with. I wouldn't like that, but like old style, like going out with a bow and arrow and hunting to keep yourself alive, pretty much. I wouldn't mind that as much.
Let me come back to you on that, because I think taking somebody's life for an unnecessary reason. An animal's life is basically all they possess on this earth, and to take their life away from them, again for an unnecessary reason, if it was for survival.
Let me ask you.
Go on, Are
you religious?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, but why do you ask?
What I ask, well...
Man, ask anything, you will not be offended at any question you can ask.
I was just thinking, because you were going to make a point there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's alright.
No, go on, ask me what you were going to say.
Well, you were saying that there's unnecessary killing.
Yeah.
And the Bible is the thing, like religion is the world's biggest killer.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, so I was brought up in the Gospel Hall, if you know what that is, an evangelical church. I left when I was 16. Some of the people in the church won't speak to me now. They see you like, another way, if you leave the Mormons, they call you, what is it they call you? An apostate. So they won't even speak to you. People shun you for the church I was in. I just didn't believe it. I was brought up to believe it. Like, I was brought up to think something humane happens on a slaughterhouse as well, and we had to eat meat. So I was deeply indoctrinated into it. But some of the things that are happening in the Bible, man, they're freaking horrendous. I think it's Genesis 1:29 to 1:32 is where God supposedly gives us dominion over the animals. And for me personally, that's probably the worst thing that's ever been written in any book, any time, because that has given so many religious people this excuse just to do what they ever want and never question it. It's pay for heinous things and never. Religion to me should be about peace and kindness and compassion and all those things. Yeah. Sometimes when I talk to religious people, they're like, God says it's okay, so therefore it's okay. Well, God says slavery was okay in the Old Testament as well, you know, and killed the whole population of the earth, including all the children in a flood, supposedly. So the Bible to me is messed up, man, to be honest. Your point, killing somebody, taking their life away from them, if it was survival, if we had to eat animals to survive, I wouldn't be standing here. It would be a nonsensical conversation. But if you don't have to, and nobody in this town centre right now, in this whole city, needs to kill animals to survive. And when you kill an animal, like say you kill a deer, what if they have young deer waiting on them coming back? You know, nobody ever considers that. There's other things to consider. They have family too. So mummy deer goes away to forage some food to come back to the young and never comes back because somebody's put an arrow on her head, you know. That's something you have to consider too. And then what happens to those young deer or rabbits or anything, you know. So for me, killing
vegetarian is definitely the more ethical lifestyle. Like,
I'm going to disagree with you.
It's not ethical.
Vegetarian, no.
We're not vegetarian.
Vegan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Vegetarian is the meat industry. I don't know if you've ever know that. Do you know how the dairy industry works?
Yeah.
You know how it works? You know that they forcibly impregnate the females and that they kill all the baby boys because they don't produce milk. So that sucks. The egg industry sucks. The hens are kept in horrendous conditions. Should it be a free-range barn with 4,000 in it or cages, and they're killed at 18 months old when their egg production drops. So we're just exploiting animals for products we just don't need. Man, I'm 56. I'm healthy as anything. So I don't want to pay people to I genuinely am, and I'm not doubting that you are too. I just don't think people fully think it through, and it's normalised to you when you're a child, and then you get into adulthood, and like your teacher said, you're taught not to think about it anymore. It happens away over there somewhere in the slaughterhouse, and when I buy a product in the supermarket, the last thing from my mind is that somebody suffered really horrendously for that product when you could just eat a plant instead. Any more thoughts on that?
So I think vegetarianism is good if you have like your own chickens and things that you can, if you just like let them be free range, and then sometimes you can get eggs from them and things like that. But
yeah, for me, so I'm not going to tell you backyard hens is as bad as what happens to battery hens or supposedly free range hens. And like, I've been in free range barns. There's 4,000 birds in one big friggin' barn. There's 9 birds per square metre. Like, they're crammed in like you've never seen, man. They never see the outside. So it's one big cage. So backyard hens is nowhere near as bad as that. But so the hens that there's 3 things that are wrong with it. Number one, the hens that we use are bred specifically to produce a lot of eggs. They should produce about 12 to 16 eggs in a year. It's a period, like a woman's period. But they've been bred now to produce about 320 a year, so it's really, really hard on them. It's like having a period and a period and a period. And I don't know if you have a girlfriend or a partner, you know what a period's like. So it's over and over and over and over again. Number 2, it normalises eating eggs. So it might be slightly more ethical for the person that has backyard hens, but it normalises eating eggs to everybody else who haven't had a conversation with somebody like me. And number 3, I just don't think it's ethical. We see animals as commodities, as products, as things to use for us. And that's the root of the whole problem. Animals are not here for us. They're here with us on this planet. That's how I see it. They're not here for us to eat their eggs or to take their milk, or, milk's for dairy milk is for a baby cow. That's why they produce the milk in the first place. It's not for humans. You wouldn't drink dog milk or donkey milk or camel milk. Yeah, it'd be weird to you. Even drinking human milk, as an adult, you'd think it was weird as fuck, right? So why the hell do we think we have to drink milk from a baby cow? Why do we think we have to eat? It's just normalised to you when you're young, but you're literally eating a chicken's period. It's weird. Yeah. Plus, the last point in the hens thing, only the female hens produce eggs. So when they're born in the thousands, they have no way to control if it's a boy or a girl that's born. The boy chicks are just disposed of.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Slightly different colour. They come down a conveyor belt. Yeah. Boys, girls, macerate it in a blender, drowned or gassed or suffocated on the day they're born, just because they don't produce eggs. They're not the same as the hens that we use for flesh. So any time you're supporting those industries, for me, that's wrong. I don't think it's right to exploit animals in that way. What do you think? Worth thinking about?
It is worth thinking about.
Definitely good to consider.
Yeah.
The only reason that I stopped being vegetarian was out of pure curiosity.
As in to see the difference from...
As in, partly to see the difference how I would feel, and partly just taste, because I'd never tasted meat in the 11, 12 years.
I haven't eaten meat since I was 19. Chicken was the last thing I ate. I haven't eaten red meat since I was 10 years old. I gave up fish at 6. I gave up drinking milk when I was 5. I told my mum I wasn't eating that pink meat anymore when I was 7, which was pork. I just thought it was gross. But I'm not here to tell you a vegan diet is... You can be reasonably healthy on any diet if you do it right. I think animal products are a package deal, so you'll get protein and calcium and whatever, but you'll also get saturated fat and cholesterol that you don't get from plants, which is why the hospitals are full of people with heart disease and diabetes and all these diseases. They're not full of vegans that are protein deficient. There's no word in the hospital for protein deficient vegans. It's just not a thing. But you can be healthy, and all those athletes are living proof that you can thrive on a plant-based diet. Well, then you have to consider, well, why am I doing this, Can I give you a card before you go?
Yeah.
I'll give you something to watch if you're interested. I'm just trying to get people to do that some in their head that if they think kicking a dog's bad, well then why is it okay to throw a pig in the gas chamber for a product when you could just go down to, like, you know, Nutmeg down there, the health food shop, sell like vegan bacon and vegan sausages. It tastes bloody good. You know.
Mum's still vegan.
Yeah, give you one each. I'm going to ask you what's the... Oh, here, I don't know if you've ever seen Game Changers. It's on there. Yeah, this one here. Have you seen that?
No, not yet.
That is literally the one about athletes going on their plant-based diet.
I've seen Cowspiracy.
Yeah.
And Seaspiracy.
They're good. So that'll show you how the planet's being trashed by animal agriculture and the fishing industry. The Game Changers is athletes, NFL players going on, and Patrick Bavumi and the Strongest Man, how they react to a plant-based diet. Shows you athletes are eating a meat-based diet, they go on to a plant-based diet, and how the change in them and how good it is for them. Loads of NFL players going on to plant-based diet now, like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you follow the NFL. Top players that have been playing for years, going plant-based now for longevity because they're not getting saturated fat, cholesterol, antibiotics and all that shite that you don't get from plants, you know. So, give me a card a second. The one I want you to watch is the bottom one there. See that speech here? The best speech you'll ever hear.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, you watched it. You show them that speech on YouTube. Really, what do you think of that speech when you watched it?
Oh, it was good. My dad showed me it.
Yeah, that Gary Orowski speech is probably one of the most powerful things I've ever watched. So, give it a watch, lads. Thomas.
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you, man. Thanks for stopping. What's your name? Ryan. Cheers, lads.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for stopping. Have a good day.